happy 2020, happy new year. I just wanted to share a little bit today with you about my 2020 scrappy plans and goals for memory keeping for this year. So one of the big things that I've been thinking about all year in 2019 was really just telling more stories. I had sort of hit this really great memory keeping and storytelling stride in 2018, and then it sort of slipped off a little bit with 2019. We had a lot of disruption to our lives with losing our jobs and things like that, and so storytelling just wasn't, memory keeping and sort of scrapbooking wasn't always at the forefront the way that it had been in 2018 when I felt like I was really killing it. And so I want to get back to that this year. Things have settled down. My husband has started his new job. I am setting off on my own business, and so getting that up and running, but I'm working from home and being at home, and so I should have lots of extra time and extra minutes to sort of jump in and get some stories told. So that's my biggest goal for 2020, is to just tell more stories. In my December daily for 2019, I did a lot more writing. I was doing a lot more writing through my Love Letters to Yourself class that happened in November and December of 2019, and so just want to keep that momentum going. I'm really loving the writing and the storytelling through that medium. And so I just want to do more of that in 2020. Trying new things is my second goal for memory keeping for 2020. So I'm making a big change this year. At least it feels like a big change for me. It's something that I considered doing last year, but just didn't feel like the right time. I wasn't prepared to make the switch. So my big thing is that I am changing from my project life. I am changing from a 12 by 12 weekly format to a 9 by 12 monthly format. And so I've been inspired by Ali Edwards and everything that she's been doing in 2019 with her 9 by 12 album. There are other scrapbookers that I follow on Instagram and YouTube that are doing 9 by 12 that I've also been inspired by, and the monthly just seems more manageable for me. In 2019, again, I did not do a good job of keeping up with my weekly format, and so I'm not one that believes in being caught up completely, but I like that. I like sort of at least being just a few weeks off, right? I am months and months away from being done with my 2019 weekly project life. So that's something I want to be finishing and working on still in 2020, is going back and telling those weekly stories from 2019. But for 2020, it's going to be monthly. I'm going to sit down at the end of the month and look for the themes, look for the big stories, look for the things that stand out sort of as a collective for the month, and document that way. At least that's my plan for now. If I don't like it, I can change it next year. I can change it mid-year. There aren't any rules. It's all up to me. So I want to change it up. I want something fresh. So I'm excited to share a little bit about those plans. I also am this will work towards both of my goals of trying new things and telling more stories. I was inspired by Allie's idea. She talked about it a little bit in the gratitude story kit classroom, to make more interactive and creative play pages using the story kit, using the Stories by the Month kit, in different sizes, right? And so similar to what we all sort of tend to do is make December daily a really creative project. Some of my travel mini albums have been really interactive and fun, and I want more of that. I want that throughout the year. I don't want to just save that all for a big project or a single project, because what ends up happening, and if you've been watching my December daily videos, you will know this to be true, the album gets huge because I want to try all the things. I kind of feel like if I am trying those creative things and the interactivity, I'm getting that out in other projects throughout the year, that then come December, I won't need to feel like I have to do it all. And so if you are struggling with the chunky album or had to move to 2 albums because you just wanted to create all the interactive pages and do all the things, you might consider sort of doing more of that throughout the year in some way. I'm going to be doing that. I'm excited about that. So I'm going to be doing a 9x12 monthly project life and then some story albums, which I'll talk about in the next part of the video. My third goal for memory keeping for 2020 is to make progress on my travel projects. So you guys, I have an embarrassing amount of travel projects that are incomplete, or not even incomplete. They haven't even been started. So I went through and used my story planner from Allie and made a list. And actually, this is actually not even a story planner page. This is a get to work book page that I cut out. It's a project planning page that I cut out from Elise Crepe. And I want to share this with you because this will give you a sense of what my project plate looks like for 2020. Sorry for the shaking. All right, so this little page here, and you can see they're not all singles. So this is a map of mostly travel projects that I need to do and want to tackle this year, or at least get some of them tackled. So going as far back as 2014, so that's 6 years, guys. It's 6 years that I haven't done this album. It was our first big cross-country road trip, so it's a massive, there's a massive amount of photos, there's a massive amount of stories. I have all of it done, or I have the documentation done, right? I've got all the photos, I have the stories documented in my Day One app. I just need to start pulling it together and get it in an album, which is the fun part, and it should be the thing I'm looking forward to, but it's so big that I've been putting it off for 5 years. So this is the year. It's happening. I don't know if that's the one I'm going to start with because I'm still a little afraid of it, but it's happening this year. Other things that are on this list, and that's going to be a 9x12 album. So that's an old Elsie and Emma, A Beautiful Mess, used to have a messy box line and a scrapbooking line way back probably in 2014 is when I bought this, or 2015 to document this trip. So it's a 9x12 album from their line that's gonna go for that. I also have our 2018 Pacific Northwest road trip to document. That I think I'm gonna try to do in a 6x12, which will be super fun because that's a totally new size for me for a whole album. I have 2 Disney trips to document. So we went to Disneyland in California in March of 2019. I need to do that. It's gonna be a 6x8 album. And I have, we went to Disney World in Florida for Halloween and Christmas in November of 2019. And so I'm gonna do just a mini 3x8 album for that trip. I have a summer mini that I want to work on for some of the trips that we took in 2019, like my family's big vacation. Our trip to Maine. There's some other things that are just a couple trips to the beach and things like that that I want to document. My story camp album from 2019, that'll also be 6x8. And then keeping up with finishing out my project life, for 2019, I still have 2016 and 2015 project lives that I'm working on. 2016 December daily at least, and 2019 day in the life. So that's a 3x8. I'm gonna be working on that. Again, have all the photos, have all the journaling, just need to print them and put them in pages and get it all done. So those are some of the projects that, that I have scoped out for this year. Oh, sorry, my notes went away. Okay, there we go. So the other thing, so making progress on those travel albums is really my biggest goal for 2020. I just want to focus in. Travel albums are some of my favorite albums to make, and so I really want to focus in on that, and I feel like that will be really satisfying to get some of those done this year. And then the fourth goal is what I've called the Great Purge. And so I've already done some of this. I will have a video in a couple of weeks sharing some of my updates about this. But basically, I've collected a bunch of products over the years. Like, I didn't do very much scrapbooking in 2019, not nearly as much as the product that I collected or bought. And so I want to use it or lose it, right? It's got to go. I started at the end of December, my sort of week between Christmas and New Year. I took and I was like, look, I want to purge things. I want to get rid of things. I collected a lot of things being part of the Ellie Studio design team. Beautiful, amazing products, but some of them I have doubles of, some of them, because I'm on the design team, you know, I've gotten more than enough product. And so passing that on, you know, putting it in a donate box. I've got an Avon sized box to donate going already, and I'm excited for that. Keeping only the things that I absolutely love and know that I already have a plan to use or will use is really important to me. So I purged out all of my December daily projects and kits. So I pared them down just to the things that I think I will use, made really tough decisions about some of that stuff, and then packed it away until next year when I pull it back out for next year's project. And so that probably is going to be an ongoing goal throughout the year, because there are a lot of like story kits and stories by the month kits that, because I have so many years to go back and scrap, I didn't feel like I wanted to get rid of them quite yet. But if I don't use them in the projects that I'm working on this year, they're out of here. They gotta go. So yeah, so those are my 4 main scrapbooking goals, memory keeping goals for 2020. What I want to do next is show you a little bit about my album setup and how I'm going to be documenting 2020 and some of the projects that I'm working on for that. So we're going to hop over to the top down view so that you can see what I've got started, and I want to share my cover pages as well, my title pages for all my books and albums. All right, we'll see that in a minute. All right, so diving in to show you a little bit about my albums and album setup for 2020 documenting and memory keeping plans. So yeah, let's just get started. This is probably the most albums that I've started a year with. It may be the most albums that I end up with in a year, we'll see. So for one thing I didn't talk about in the first part of the video is that I am doing one little word this year. My word is explore. I will have more about that coming soon. I don't know if I'll be sharing my one little word project or not. I may share some of them. But what I did is I went ahead, I have the kit from Allie Edwards, the album. I got the album that has one little word written all over it, just because I like knowing that that's what this project is. And so I went through already, I have the kit, the main kit, and so I went through and set up most of the months, or at least a rough idea, right? The pages are in here, the page dividers are in here, the months are all in here. I've got it pretty well set up, at least to get started with. And so I haven't done that yet. I haven't started that album yet, but I will be doing that project. So that's one project I'll be doing. The other project that I'm doing are story albums this year. And this is something that I'm doing that's new. So these will feature a little bit more traditional 12 by 12 layouts or traditional size layouts, and not pocket pages necessarily, and interactive. So I've got 2 story albums that I'm going to be working on this year. I've got a 12 by 12, I've got a 6 by 8. And that's not to say that my 12 by 12 won't have 6 by 8 inserts or other size inserts, but just having one larger sort of format and one smaller format I think will be really fun. I don't tend to get as creative in terms of interactivity in my big albums. It's a bit harder because they're so big and bulky, but in my 6 by 8 albums, that's my jam. Interactivity and interactive pages and pullouts and flip ups and tags are totally something that I welcome, and so that's mainly what this smaller album will be. But what I did is I went ahead and I set up a title page or a starter page for each album. And so this is using all this is using all Allie Edwards products. Some of them are old, they're all old really, at this point. Some chipboard on a photo of us. This was our Christmas card photo from this year, so it's recent enough. I love this. I love our story. Sure, it's messy, but it's the story that got us here. And then just, this is a see-through page with an an acetate heart that says stories on it. So that's my starter page for my 6x8 story album for 2020. And then I bought a We Are Memory Keepers leather pink album, which I don't know. I honestly think it was Allie's Pink Week in the Life album this year that sort of reignited my passion for pink. Actually, not even reignited. It started a passion for pink. I've never been a pink fan, but I'm loving pink right now. So pink it is for my story album, my 12x12 story album. And so this will contain bigger layouts, more traditional layouts, some design team work probably will go in here. And so what I made for this page, or for this starter page, see if I can make some space here, is just a big 12x12 photo of us, the three of us. This is from our trip to Maine this summer. I should probably put that date on here somewhere. I may go back and do that. This Stories is like a fabric patch that came with an Allie Edwards product or kit or something a long time ago. I've had it in my stash for a long, long time. And so when I thought about doing a story album, I was like, I'm going to use that. And if I don't use it, I'm going to lose it. It's going to be out of here. A strip of vellum where I stamped out, these are our stories, a wood veneer heart. And then down there along the bottom, I just used a mix of word phrase stickers that I felt were like representative of us, our life, our story. So collecting all the memories, little moments, these memories, real life, onward and upward and onward. This will be an adventure, moments of life, and then a little ampersand for the three of us. And so yeah, just a full page photo is awesome. I don't know, I've been playing in pockets and working in pockets for so long. I started Project Life in 2013, and I've been working in pockets since then. So breaking out and going back to traditional layouts has been something I've experimented with as I've been on the LA Studio design team this year, or in 2019. But it's a little scary, right? It's been a really long time since I've worked in just regular 12x12 page protectors or any size just page protectors. So I'm really excited about this, looking forward to just using my products and getting more stories told and not feeling like they have to fit in a specific format. That's why I've set up all these albums ahead of time, is like, if it feels more like a monthly, annual, sort of Project Life-y story and documentation, then I'm going to do it in Project Life. If it feels like something that's sort of not chronological, or I just want to tell that story, or I really loved those photos, it's going to go in either my 12x12 story album or my 6x8 story album. But giving myself that flexibility and permission, and having the albums and the space already set up so I don't have just a stack of layouts somewhere. You've seen my room. It's not huge, so I don't have a ton of extra space. So if it's not in an album, it's going to probably get destroyed or lost. And then my last piece for 2020 that's new is moving to 9x12. So I've got a 9x12 album from Allie Edwards. I actually bought 3 of them just in case I can't fit everything in one, or in case they run out. I know 9x12 has been a tricky size, so I've been a little hesitant about that. But then here is my 2020 page, or my album opener. And so this is all using my plan for my Project Life, just to talk about this a little bit, is to use the Stories by the Month kits from Allie Edwards. So those come in these little adorable little bags. They're little like plastic pouches that are great for reusing and storing things in. I use these all over my craft room and for traveling with craft supplies. They're really great. And it comes with a little mini stamp set. It comes with 3x4 cards. It comes with 4x6 cards. and usually it comes with a page of word phrase stickers and then chipboard stickers. And so my plan, because I have collected a lot of these kits this year because I didn't use them and they come out monthly, and I'm a subscriber, so I've got them all. My plan is to use Stories by the Month primarily in this album. The other albums are where I'm going to use mostly my LE Studio product and my story kits. And those are that covers my subscriptions. And that's really all the product that I'm bringing into the house at this point. So this is going to focus on using my Stories by the Month because it comes as a monthly subscription. It's sort of already set up to go along with monthly formatting or monthly project life format. And so that's what I'm going to do. So this card and this card were from the January Stories by the Month kit. The chipboard is all from the Stories by the Month kit. And then these cards are from the Family Story kit. This is from, I believe, the Seasons Story kit from a while back, maybe even last year, 2018. I'm not sure when Seasons was. The 2020 is from the Stories by the Month kit, as well as this chipboard. And then I just put in a couple of word phrase stickers. Fresh start, tell your stories, living the length and the width. And I love that. Couple of gold puffies from LE Studio. Another word phrase that just says thankful for this with the Every Family Has a Story card. And then 2 recent photos of us. And then I did our journaling, printed it out on photo paper. This is actually a digital card from the family kit. And so, yeah, that's what I've got so far. I won't be revisiting this until the end of January when I come back to do that project. Other projects that I've got going on that may continue in 2020, I talked about some of my travel albums. I don't have those all pulled together or ready to share with you, so you'll just see those at another time. But this is one that I've been working on. This is like a, this is my own, like my story album. So it's got some layouts I did from Story Camp in here, and then it contains all of my letters from my Letters to Yourself course, which ran in November and December in 2019. It will be running again in early 2020 sometime, so I will have information about that soon. But these are all my letters and how I documented that. And so that's what this album is. And this is actually just an album that I got at Story Camp as part of that. The other thing that I'm going to be working on that I have right here on hand is Day in the Life for 2019. So this is 2019. So I've got the kit, I've got the album. I did one of my projects for LE Studio for early on in the year. I forget when this was. I don't know. This was like, January 25th. I did a Day in the Life and did it as like a big 12 by 12 spread, and then I actually was like, I did a Day in the Life, so I just want to put it in the same album. And so again, the documenting for the 2 days that I did Day in the Life is already done. I just need to get it in here. So that'll be probably a quick and easy win, hopefully. So yeah, so that's that is my goal. Those are some of my goals, some of my setup for 2020. I am really excited to get going with this and just do more storytelling, tell more stories, do more creating, make more stuff, because this is the stuff that makes me really happy. And so, yeah, please leave a comment below. Let me know what some of your scrappy or memory keeping goals are for 2020, what your setup is going to be. I'd love to hear from you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks a lot. Happy New Year. Happy scrapping.